Hi guys, I'm back. I've took a little bit of a break because I've not been feeling fantastic, but I felt like this video needs to be done. Last night, Grimsby Town lost to Solihull Moors in a fairly damp squib of a performance, to be completely honest. They lost 2-0, and this video's what do you think's going on at Grimsby Town? Here's my opinion on this. It's not the players in regards to the skill of the players, the quality of the players. We know we've got that. Yeah, we might be missing a quality and maybe up front a little bit, and I don't want us to become reliant on John McAtee, because I think, even though I think we are, I think the fans have taken a John, and but let's just dissect this a little bit, shall we? We've played around about 15 games now, 16 games now. We've actually won 10 of them. Yes, we've lost 5 of our last 6 in all competitions, only scoring, I think, 2 goals in the process, I think, in those 6. And that is concerning. I mean, there's no getting away from that. That is really concerning. And like I said in the previous video a couple of weeks ago, it's not creating enough. But I announced this loss as a damp squib, and I stand by that. It was a damp squib. I don't know what it is, but everybody at the minute looks disjointed, and that's where questions will be asked. What's going on with the squad? Why are the squad so underperforming? And they are underperforming. I'm not gonna sit here and praise Paul Hurst because I like him as a gaffer. I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to praise anybody just to praise them. And that question will be asked: what in the world has happened? I heard somebody on one of the forums saying that Solihull Moors aren't one of the top sides in the division. Sutton wouldn't have been thought of as a top of the division last season. What I noticed with Solihull last night, because I went to the game with a friend of mine, and probably maybe the away games I've gone to, because I haven't been to many due to distance reasons, that was the one real game I looked at away from home and thought, we're not going to come back. If we fall behind, we're not going to come back in this. And 2 really sloppy errors for both. It wasn't as though Solihull had to work for it, but they were very, very organised. I use the term of I hate Neil Ardley. I said that to my friend a few times. Now, when I say I hate Neil Ardley, I mean I hate coming up against Neil Ardley sides. For some reason, Neil Ardley has like some kind of control over Grimsby. For some reason, I don't think we haven't played his teams that often. But whenever we come up against Neil Ardley, he always seems to have the right plan and the right, style of play to beat us. He did it with Notts County. He's done it with Solihull Moors. I'm not surprised Solihull are up there, to be completely honest. And it wouldn't. I said to my friend last night, I said, Solihull and Grimsby in the playoff final, and he went, I'd hate that. And to be honest, it's Solihull. I know I said Yeovil in my predictions were going to be probably the surprise package. I don't know if I can call Solihull a surprise package. Not with Neil Ardley there. Yeah, their team lost to Notts County last time out. But I think they're probably slightly better than Notts County. And if any Notts County fans see this, I'm not sorry. From what I've seen, into the regards that they put us to bed. We were better against Notts County and just narrowly lost. Whereas with Solihull, we never really got out of the dressing room, did we? Let's be completely honest. But back to the thought of this video, what is going on? And a lot of fans have their own opinions, and I want to know some of their opinions. What's going on? Why do you think we've got into this? Some fans may call it a chasm. I haven't got that far yet, but I know some probably would be thinking that, and because these are the same players that have won 10 of the 16 games. So it's not a bad squad at all. It's not a bad squad at all. But the way I watched them last night, I never felt we were going to get back in it when we fell behind. We did have a couple of chances with Michi Afete's chance, and why the goalie got man of the match, I do not know. But there you go. But yeah, what do you think's happened? To me, after we beat Yeovil, we weren't playing well against Yeovil Town. We didn't play well against them at all. And so we didn't play well against Yeovil Town. And then the slide happened. The slide started to happen, This is the first time I've turned around and I said to my friend on the way back, this is the first real time that we've actually been well beaten in regards to, definitely in regards to scoreline, where, the Wealdstone one is probably the worst we played, which was Wealdstone. And like I said at the time, we didn't play well that night. We got exactly what we deserved, same as we did last night, to be completely honest. And then we've gone to Kidderminster and we've lost there. We've lost to Notts County, obviously, all by 1 goal margins. Bar last night, every loss we've had up to that point has been a 1-0 margin. And that's why I say that Solihull aren't the best team we've played, but by any stretch of imagination, but they're probably the most organised team I've seen us play. Where in games you're always going to have a spell, aren't you? In every single game, you'll have a spell. You'll have a couple of chances. It's whether you take them or not. We didn't really even have a spell, I don't really think. A couple of chances, yes, but we didn't really have a spell in the game. Probably right near the end or right at the beginning of the second half, we had a bit of a flurry, but we never really looked like scoring. Let's be completely honest. And you have to question. Obviously, people are going to question Paul. Of course, they are. But you've also got to question the players at the moment. The players are just not. This is the same group of players that gave us one of the best starts we could have asked for. The big question is, I suppose, was it too good of a start? Have we started too good? And what I'm liking about this league so far, hang on to this point, nobody's thrashing anybody, really. Now, when I say thrashing, you had a couple of 5-0s and 6-0s. What I mean is, it's like you don't know what result's going to come next. You don't in this league, We could turn up on Saturday and thrash Bournemouth 3-0. Bournemouth could come down here and completely capitulate. You know, Chesterfield's game at the weekend isn't even on. You know, Notts County and Stockport. I mean, Stockport and Wrexham have started to come back into it. You know, they've found a groove again. But they'll lose again. They'll lose games again. To say we've lost 5 games now. We've lost. I think we just need to wonder what has happened since that Yeovil game, or that was setting in before the Yeovil game. It's a good thing we've still only lost 1 game at home. Bundle Park is a strong place for us, and I said right at the start of the season that is where we need to be strongest. But we do need to be picking more points up away from home. We can't keep losing, dropping points, and so easily. With a whimper. Solihull compared to Altrincham just about 3 weeks earlier. You know, 3-2. It's like you can't drop off so badly unless something is wrong. And I've read an article this evening that says Town were in the dressing room for over half an hour trying to work out what has gone wrong. Because what has gone wrong? I really don't know what's gone wrong. But now I want to turn it over to you guys, the fellow Mariners. What do you think's gone wrong? Why do you think? Excuse me, I'm still not quite right over the gold yet. What do you think's gone wrong? Why do you think things have gone wrong? You know, are you worried? And genuinely, are you worried? Are you? I'm not worried yet, but I am thinking they've lost something. Cohesion, I think, is what they've lost at the minute. They're not clicking like they were early on, but they're good players. They've already shown that. So I'm not going to judge the players from the aspect of are they good players? Of course they are. But I do ask the question, and I ask all the fans this: did we start too well? I'm going to give my honest answer. Yes, I think we did. I think we started far too well. You know, by being beaten in your first 7 games and things like that, and then unbeaten at home until we played Notts County, but should have really got something out of that and stayed unbeaten. I think that we have started too well, and you always get a period where we can't really buy a win unless it's against a really poor side, which Southend were on the Friday night. I mean, we beat Dover 6-0, but sometimes I felt like Dover were the better side out of the two. Southend were dreadful, really. But we're just not... I'm not going to say we're not good, because you don't have the start that we had if you're not good. It is now, I believe, about character. Has Hurst got the right characters in that dressing room? And by characters, I mean, right, things aren't going well right now. Things aren't going well, you know. 5 losses in your last 6 in all competitions is not going well. you know, 3 defeats in the last 4 games, or 4 defeats in the last 5 in the league. You know, that's not good. It's not quality of player. This comes down to, I believe, the player's mentality and the player's character. Have they got it in them when the chips are down? That's the question. Now, we came back against Barnet. We did it again, you know. We've come back a couple of times. But now things really aren't exactly going our way. Have we really got the characters in the squad to fight through this? I question that, whether we've got the... And only the players can answer that question. We can't answer that question. Only the players can answer, have they got the character that is needed and is required to get us out of this rut. You know, Bournemouth have been absolutely flying, who we play next. There will be a preview coming up about them. I believe that'll be in the next couple of days. I won't say which day because I don't want to promise a day and then it doesn't get up. But now this one's about kind of like a fan come together. I want fans to really get interactive with this video and let me know. Even leave me a video response if you want of what you really think. Where do you think it's going wrong for Grimsby? Is it the manager? Is it the players? I'll be honest with you, to me it's the players' characters. I am questioning those. So I am basically saying to the players, come and prove that you've got the right character. Because it's all well and good when things are going well. You know, when things were going great at the start of the season. Now it isn't. Now there's questions to answer. Not only by Paul, but by the players as well. And also Doigie. It's right. Have you got the right characters in the club that it's fine when things are good, but when things aren't going well, have you got the characters? And that at the minute is what I question. The players' characters. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm not saying they're bad players. But the mindset seems elsewhere. And if we're going into a run of 3 or 4 really tough games coming up through Christmas, starting with Bournemouth on Saturday, and if we play like we have the last 3 games, we ain't getting nothing. We could have Ronaldo, we'd get nothing. It's as simple as that. I always said with sport, it's about mentality. I always use the term upsets don't happen. And I know that can piss a lot of people off when I say upsets don't happen. They don't. The reason why an upset happens is mentality. I believe we had that mentality when we played Kidderminster. I believe we had that mentality in a couple of games this season. Maidenhead. We thought we'd turn up and it was just going to happen. It didn't. We had that mentality, I believe, against Aldershot. The reason why Aldershot beat Grimsby Town, they wanted it more than we did. Kidderminster wanted it more than we did. Mentally, I wonder whether the players actually thought, we'll just turn up and we'll win. And fan base can't deny. A lot of the fan base thought that as well, especially, you know, when we went to Wealdstone and things like that. People thought, no, it's only Wealdstone. All we've got to do is turn up and win. I've never had that mentality in a league like this. I've never had. I've always wanted the team to win, but I've never expected them to win. And I think people, Solihull Moors now are not little Solihull when we first played them in the trophy a few years ago. They're not little Solihull anymore. They've got great improvements to their ground. It's a lovely little ground, to be completely honest. And they've got a lovely fan zone. So I had a wonderful pint in there last night, which was fantastic. But, and you've got to just sort of be understanding that we are one of the biggest clubs in the division in the way of history and so on. But I said this at the beginning of the season, and I'll say it again now. We have no right to go out on a football pitch and win a football match. You have to be switched on right. When you believe you can win, this is one final question. When you believe you can win, 9 times out of 10 you'll win. But also, if you believe that if you don't turn up, you'll lose. That sharpens your brain. My question to the supporters tonight, one of the final questions to the supporters tonight is this. Do you think the players believe they can win the games they're going into? And because of some of the teams that we're playing, do some, and even fans that believe this, do we still have the mentality of such and such a team doesn't belong on the same pitch as us? But the main question is, the main final question is, do you think, and everyone's personal opinion, and as a fan base you're entitled to the opinion, do you think the players just thought they were going to turn up last night and beat Solihull? And do you think their mentality is right at the moment? And that's a question for the fans. But it's a question only the players can answer. We can all have an opinion, but the only people that can answer that question is on Saturday against Bournemouth at Blundell Park. They're the only ones that can answer the question truly, but I want Grimsby Town fans to give me their genuine, heartfelt opinion. Do you think that we had such a good start that the players were switched off mentally, and now they can't motivate themselves to get back to it? Do you think the players think, or we think, we're better than we are because we made such a good start? I think it is about the character and the mentality at the minute, and that is in question. And only the players can answer it. I'll see you guys soon with another video.